took out all these student loans and all this money to get this degree, and now I don't even want to use it. I don't want to spend the next 30+ years of my life working in a job that I hate every single day of my life. I've invested too much time or money or energy into my current career. So much of your life is spent with work. It's never too late to make a change if it's something that you like genuinely want to do.
Whoa, oh, oh. Da, 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 oh, oh. Da, 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 oh, oh. Da, 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 da. Making our Christmas memories.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Keisha if you're new here, and thank you for clicking on today's video. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about careers, changing careers. That's never too late to change your career. Kind of just give you a little motivation, maybe a little like pep talk if you're someone that's like maybe in a job or career that you don't love or you don't see yourself in forever. Or maybe you're someone that has like another passion that you're maybe like a little too scared to pursue. That's kind of what we're gonna be talking about today as someone who has changed careers, made a very scary jump and had it work out. So I definitely wanted to just kind of sit down and talk. I don't know. I did like a finance video a couple weeks ago that I really enjoyed doing. I'll have that linked up here if you guys want to check it out. I just talked about like my financial journey and going from being broke to financially free. So I don't know. I feel like I just like really love talking through these different topics of just things that have like really had like a big impact on my life. So let me know if you guys like these type of videos and I'll definitely keep filming them. But yeah, so basically we're just gonna be talking about changing and pursuing your passions or your dreams or whatever we want to call it. So if you've ever felt stuck or feel like it's too late to make a change, then this video is for you. Because remember, it's never too late to make a change, no matter how old you are, no matter what degrees you've had, no matter how much time you've spent in an industry. It's never too late to make a change if it's something that you like genuinely want to do. Let's get into this video. And before we do, if you guys like this video or like these type of videos, definitely subscribe. Let me know by liking and commenting on this video. And like I said, I do want to film more, but make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any more chats like this. So before we fully dive in, let's talk about me and like who I am, why I'm passionate on this topic, especially if you guys are new here. You might not know my story. So let's do a little recap. I graduated undergrad with a degree in psychology, and then I got my master's in applied behavior analysis. So I was a behavior analyst and I did that for about 2.5 years. So in undergrad, I thought I wanted to be a therapist, and then quickly realized like literally within the first couple weeks of being in college that I did not want to be a therapist. Scrapped that, and then I took a class about behavior and really was interested in behavior, why we do the things we do, how to change the things we do, like just like everything to do with behavior I was super interested in. So I quickly learned that I wanted to be a behavior analyst. I got my master's in it, and I worked in the field for about a year as a PCC, which is somebody that works under the behavior analyst. And then I worked for about a year and a half-ish as an actual behavior analyst. So that's kind of my experience. And then I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. Like I definitely kind of started to find out that I wasn't super passionate about it. And then like I would meet people in the field that are like, oh, I've done this for like 20+ years. And I really got to thinking, I don't see myself doing it for 20 years. I barely even see myself doing it for like the next 5 years. I started to really kind of get burnt out in that field pretty quickly. It's definitely a very mentally and physically and emotionally like taxing job. I could go into a whole story of me being a behavior analyst and like all my stories of like concussions and like bruises and black eyes and stuff like that. Not like every client was like that. Those were like the more extreme scenarios, but it was definitely just very, very draining. I was kind of panicking because I'm like, okay, I already got my master's and spent all this time and took out all these student loans and all this money to get this degree, and now I don't even want to use it. So I'm like, what am I doing? So I almost didn't even pivot careers because I was just like, you've already put in the time and the money to do this. It's just a waste. And that was my mindset. And that's something that I want to be here to tell you guys that yes, it does feel like a waste. Like even to this day, working on paying off my loans and being debt free, it pains me every single day that I took out those loans and I don't even do it. And for what I do now, I could have spent $800 and done that. It pains me every day, but I don't regret making the decision. So if you're also in that boat of like, I already invested time and money into this degree, I get it. Trust me, I get it. I don't want that to be like the deterring factor for you of why you are just gonna like make yourself be stuck in something that you don't wanna be in, you know? I decided like, let me kind of rethink of things that I've been interested in before. What can I do as like a new career? Cause I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. And I was making really good money at that job. Depending on the client, I either made $66 an hour or I made $91 an hour. So I was also making really good money. I knew I wanted to do real estate. I had an interest in it before, but I was always scared to do something that was just like commission based. I found apartment locating, got into this. So I've kind of been like in the real estate field now for like a little over 2 years, primarily in locating, even though I had like a little hiatus in between to do buy sell. I made the pivot and it was hard. It was definitely a transition going from like, even my job as a behavior analyst was never, I was still an independent contractor. So it was never like steady. It was based on like client hours that I billed, but for the most part it was pretty steady. So it was kind of hard going from that to this where things are a little more up in the air. Yeah, it definitely was an adjustment, but you know, 2 years in, I've been with this company specifically for over a year now and everything worked out. I'm still making 6 figures. Now I'm building a team under me. I'm happy with this job. I'm super passionate about it and I see myself doing it for a while. So I'm so happy that I made that change, but that's kind of the short, condensed version of my story of how I made like a big career pivot. So I feel like when it comes to making a career change, there's a lot of like common beliefs out there. Like I'm too old, or I've invested too much time or money or energy into my current career, or I'm not qualified, or maybe you're just terrified of change and that's holding you back from making the transition. I feel like a lot of us are creatures of habit, and once we get into an environment that we're just like comfortable in, it's like really hard to get out of that, because it's like, even if nothing is wrong, maybe you're not, you don't have to be in like a toxic work environment to not be where you're meant to be, but maybe you're just not really feeling fulfilled, or you know that you're meant for more, or you are just kind of, like I said, comfortable. I feel like a lot of people that I know, especially like the older generations, I feel like, and like even like my mom and aunt stuff, I feel like they're just so like comfortable and like complacent with where they are, but they're not happy. Like they don't like where they are. They're not making the money what they want to make, and they're like actually just kind of like miserable. And I think the older they've gotten, the more miserable that they've gotten. And that was really like my motivation to not be that person to where I'm like just like literally waking up and like hating life because I don't want to do what I signed up to do, or I don't want to do what I have to do. And you have to do, especially work, you work so many hours, so much of your life is spent with work. We can't let the fear keep us from striking. What's that saying? We can't let the fear of striking out. I'm like so close. Don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. There we go. But the truth is, life is way too short to stay in a job that you don't love. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be my mom where I'm like in my 50s and miserable. I don't want to spend the next 30 plus years of my life working in a job that I hate every single day of my life. There's so many benefits for pivoting and changing your career and doing something that you love. So first, you just get that personal fulfillment. Doing something that you love can lead to a more meaningful and satisfying life overall. Again, I don't want to keep saying it, but I just personally don't want to be the person that hates my life too deep in the future because I didn't make the change, or has to live with regrets that like, oh man, when I was younger, I wish I tried this. I don't know. Like I said, it's never too late no matter how old you are. I've seen so many success stories, people that are older that like make a career shift, but I feel like the older you get, the harder it is to like want to just like scrap everything you know and start fresh with something new. I feel like you just get more in your head the older you get. And like, even for me, I'm 27 now, but I was more like early to mid 20s when I made my career shift. It was like 24, 25. My thought process, like what I really had to say to boost myself was like, again, not saying that if you have kids or if you're older than this, that it's too late for you. Like not, of course, by any means. But for me, my thought process was like, okay, I'm in my 20s, I'm young, I don't have kids, I don't have anything tying me down to anything right now. If I'm gonna explore, this is the best time, because obviously you can still pivot careers when you have kids, but like I would be lying if I said there wasn't maybe a little bit of added pressure or anxiety knowing that you have like mouths to feed and you're gonna do, especially if you do something like me where you're going from like more steady income to commission based. Like I get it makes it 10 times more scary. Again, definitely doable. People do it all the time, and there's so many success stories of people who are parents or older that have like gone and gotten their degree or gotten certified in things and changed their careers. But I'm just saying, it's like my mindset was like, I want to do that before I get to that point, and then I feel like I'm gonna have even more excuses, or I'm gonna be even more in my head and feel more obligated to just stay where I am, where things are comfortable and I know it's predictable and I know exactly what I'm doing and how much I'm getting paid and when I'm getting paid. It's easier. Like I think we can all agree it's probably easier for me to make a big career shift than like my mom when she was raising 3 kids by herself. But also you get more motivation when you're doing something that you love. Like when I was a behavior analyst, like I really did not have motivation. I really hated going to see my clients. I hated doing notes. Like I really got to a point where I was like, I didn't want to do any part of the job. And with locating, even if I have a day where maybe I don't feel like going out and touring, I don't feel like doing calls or whatever, it's like, I just have to remind myself that like, this is what I wanted to do. This is something I love and I'm so passionate about that like, yes, maybe I don't feel like leaving today, but like I get to go tour apartments. I love looking at apartments. It's so fun. I get to do that. That's my job. Like I get to do something I love. That's my job. And a lot of people don't get to say that. You like love overall everything about this job. I couldn't have gotten a more perfect job for me, honestly. So it's like, whenever I don't feel like working or I'm not feeling motivated, I just have to remind myself of that. And I genuinely, for the most part, do feel pretty motivated in this job because I love it so much. But whenever I have those times where I'm like, oh, I don't feel like working today, I'm like, be grateful that you get to do something that you love, like literally every single day. Because when you do something that you're passionate about, it definitely like reignites that fire that you have within you. And it makes working feel a lot less like a chore. Okay, so now we know, you know what, we know we don't love what we're doing and we're ready to make a transition. But now the hardest part is putting that into actions. What are you gonna do? How do you even go from there? And again, I did that too. I didn't know where I was going when I decided that like, I wanted to move and I didn't want to be a behavior analyst anymore. I was like, great, we've come to this point, amazing, but now what? Like, where do we go from here? So like I said, I just like personally sat down and just thought of like, what are all the different things that I've ever thought of doing in my life that I've had passion in? And like I said, real estate was one of them. But like once I found apartments, I was like, there could not have been a better, more perfect job created for me. Like I just had to sit there and do some digging. I mean, I couldn't even think of all the different things I thought I wanted to do, but I really just like had to sit and be with myself and just like really reflect and just like do some deep thinking of like things that I was interested in and things that I thought I could be good at and successful at, and of course make a lot of money in. Like I feel like those are all important things and what would have like a good trajectory for me and all that stuff. So and give me the lifestyle I wanted. Like I am someone that like really values having a very flexible, independent lifestyle where I don't, nothing wrong with the 9-to-5, of course. Like literally my fiance works a 9-to-5, nothing wrong with it. My best friend works a 9-to-5, literally nothing wrong with it. I just knew that it wasn't for me. I was never gonna be an office girly. I was never gonna be a 9-to-5 girly. I was never gonna be in a job where someone was gonna be hovering over me. Like there's just things that I just knew that I needed. So I was like, what can I do where I know I can kind of wake up when I want, I can work when I want, I can take vacations when I want. That's what I liked about being a behavior analyst. Since I was an independent contractor, like I set up the times for the most part of when I wanted to work. I could just go on vacation and just let people know. I didn't have to request time off. Like I just like loved the flexibility that came with it. So that's really what I was looking for. So I was like, I need a job that's like that, because again, that might not be for everybody, but that's something that I truly valued, and that I was like, okay, whatever I do next, I need the same kind of lifestyle because I'm so used to it and I love it and I work really well working for myself and working on my own schedule. Like I work so good like that I was like, I need to do something that will give me that. We talking about how much I love this job, and then one of my I had a situation where I was like, I love my job, and then I had somebody text me that has been ignoring me for a month that said they need to move. Literally, they're like, I need to apply somewhere and like move in today. And I'm like, you ghosted me for a month and now you need to move in today. The fun parts of the job. Like I said, overall, I love everything. That was just funny timing. Anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, I had to like really sit there and think deeply within myself of what I wanted to do next or try next. And even if I got into this and it didn't work out forever, I kind of went in there thinking that it might not have. I was hoping for the best, but like knew it maybe wouldn't have. And I was okay with that because I was like, you know what? I can change careers 1,000 times until I find something that makes me happy. I don't care. But yeah, think about things that you're passionate about. Think about things that you've ever dreamed of. Is there anything that you think is out of reach that you have always had an interest in, but you never thought that you could do or never thought that was going to be attainable for you? If you can't think of anything, there are so many different like career assessments and things online. Try maybe watching like different YouTube videos and different day in the lives of people doing different jobs and kind of seeing like what people are up to. Assess the different skills that you have. You likely have transferable skills from whatever you're doing now that you can transfer into a new role somewhere else. Also, really would recommend like seeking guidance. Like I said, I would recommend if you have some ideas of things you want to do, but you don't want to like fully dive in yet, I really think it's super beneficial to, like I said, watch a YouTube video, see day in the life. If you want to be a nurse, watch day in the life of a nurse. If you want to be an apartment locator, day in the life of an apartment locator, Q&As of people answering the questions, see what the day-to-day actually like realistically looks like, and see the different perspective from different people that are currently in that role. Find people in that field that you can connect with, whether you ask them to go get a cup of coffee or maybe a Zoom meeting where you can just like kind of talk and just pick their brain to see if that's something that you really think that you could see yourself in. Try to be good if people DM me to answer any questions that they have. I've set up some Zooms with people before just to kind of talk about the role. I know this job's not for everyone, so I just want to make sure people have like a good understanding of like what it really entails before they make a big leap into, you know, a new career. And you know, take small steps. You know, just because you think of something today doesn't mean you need to have a new career done tomorrow. Figure out what needs to be done. So you pick, you're figuring out what you need to do. Is there any schooling that needs to be done? Any licensing, any courses, trainings, anything like that? Like, what do you need in order to do that role? If you're wanting to switch to a role where you either work for yourself, have your own business, or you're an independent contractor, 1099, it might be a slower transition because, like I said, it's not the same as being a W-2 where, you know, you get paid the next week after you start working. You're gonna have to also kind of plan financially and make sure that you have enough saved and you're in like a good spot to be able to make that leap in case you don't make money for a few months. So you definitely need to plan for your success, especially when it comes to finances, if you're gonna be, like I said, working anything on your own. So it's totally normal to have fear and doubt when it comes to switching your career, but growth does happen when you are put outside of your comfort zone. If I stayed in my comfort zone, I probably would still be a behavior analyst, and I don't even know where I would be. I definitely wouldn't have taken a leap of faith to go to a fully commissioned job if I didn't want to step outside my comfort zone. So don't be afraid to face your fears and just keep reminding yourself of the potential rewards that are gonna come later. Also, surround yourself with people who are supportive and that are gonna be there to cheer you on and root for you while you make the transition. I feel like everybody in my life was super supportive when I made my transition, and like I said, definitely wasn't easy, but I definitely don't have any regrets because I'm so happy. It's like really nice to be in a place where I genuinely feel like I'm good at what I do, I'm successful, I'm making good money, and I'm just genuinely like happy. The main takeaway, if you don't take anything else from this video, is to just do what brings you happiness. That's literally this whole video summed up into a few words. Do what makes you happy. Life is meant to be lived to the fullest, and pursuing your passion can lead to a more satisfying and fulfilling life. If you've made a career change, or if you're considering making a career change, then leave that down in the comments below. I'd love to know where you guys are at. I would love to hear your story if you've done it, or if you're considering it, like what are you thinking? Let's talk in the comments down below. But that's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I just love sitting down. I love to talk, so I just love a little chatty video. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you guys again in another video. Okay, bye guys.
Hold you close, forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories.